Hello friends, my name is Vijay Kumar and we are studying refrigeration and air conditioning. In the last video, we have studied about the expansion devices. Now in this video, we will study thermoelectric refrigeration. Friends, the thermoelectric refrigeration is a non-conventional type refrigeration system. In this case, there is no refrigerant is used. This is a purely a non-conventional and advanced technology refrigeration system. What is the principle of thermoelectric refrigeration system? Let's see. The thermoelectric effect represents direct conversion of temperature difference into voltage and vice versa. The thermoelectric refrigeration depends on the thermoelectric effect. Basically, when there is two conductors are connected, two different conductors are connected, and these two conductors at two junctions are at different temperature, then EMF will generate, and reverse is also true for that. And this phenomena we know that thermoelectric effect, with which the current flow through the thermo elements or a thermoelectric module. When the electric current is applied across the junction of two dissimilar metal, cooling is produced in one junction and heating is produced in another junction. This is called the thermoelectric effect. The thermoelectric effect is formed due to free motion of charge carriers. If it is an electron, then negative charge electron, and for holes it is a positive charge carriers in metal and semiconductor while carrying energy and electric charge. The thermoelectric effects are Peltier effects, Thomson effect and Seebeck effects. There are so many effects like Peltier effect, Thomson effect and Seebeck effect. Let's see Seebeck effect. When a temperature gradient is applied to a conductor, an electromotive force is produced. That means when two conductors are connected and at the junction of these two conductors, if temperature gradient is applied, then voltage difference will generate in the system or in both the conductor or at the two junction. Across the two junction, voltage difference will generate. The voltage difference generated is proportional to the temperature difference across the thermoelectric module between the two junctions, the hot and cold one. This is the Seebeck effect. The reverse of Seebeck effect is Peltier effect. The Peltier effect is the phenomena that converts current to temperature and occurs when an electric current flows through a thermoelectric device. The Peltier effect is reversible phenomena of Seebeck effect. Peltier heat depends directly on direction of carrier flow or electric current. What is the carrier flow like? The electrons are flowing. The direction in which electrons are flowing, in that direction heat will flow. So, if there are two conductors, two different conductors are connected and through that conductors current is flow through that conductors, then heat will generate at one junction and heat will reject at the another junction. This is the Peltier effect. Okay. What is the value of heat flow rate? The value of heat flow rate in Peltier effect, that will be equal to pi AB into current into temperature. Pi AB means pi B minus pi A into current I into temperature. Q Peltier is the heat absorbed or heat dissipated. That is in the form of what we call it in watt. It is in terms of watt. I is the electric current that flows through the junction. It is in ampere. Pi AB, pi A and pi A. Here it is also pi B. Pi AB, pi A, pi B are the Peltier coefficient of thermocouple and conductor A and B. It is in watt per ampere. Where T is in absolute temperature, which is in Kelvin key. You see here, suppose this is conductor A and this is conductor B. Both the conductors are connected and through these conductors current is flowing. So, suppose this junction will be at cold temperature, that is at temperature Tc, and this is at temperature Th. So this is at higher temperature and this is at lower temperature. So from this heat will generate and at this heat will absorb. This is the Peltier effect. Okay. Now let's see where the Peltier effect is utilized and what is the application of Peltier effect. Let's see. A typical thermoelectric cooling component is shown in this figure. The bismuth telluride. This is a semiconductor device. This is a semiconductor device. I have taken bismuth telluride is sandwiched between the two conductors. This is one conductor and this is second conductor. Between these two conductors, this semiconductor device is sandwiched. A semiconductor called as pellet is used because they can optimize for pumping heat and because the type of charge carriers within them can be chosen. The semiconductor in this example is of n-type. That means n-type means there are number of electrons are more, that is doped with electrons. Therefore, the electron moves towards the positive end of the battery. The nature of flow of electron will be towards the positive end of the battery. The semiconductor is soldered to the two conductive material. At this point and at this point it is soldered. That means it is a connection like a welding. The semiconductor is soldered to the two conductive materials like copper. When the voltage is applied across these two conductors, like this is voltage source we have applied, the heat is transported in the direction of current flow. Heat will transported through this semiconductor in the direction of current flow. You see here, this is n-type semiconductor and electron will flow towards the positive end. So current will flow like this. As the current will flow like this, so heat will flow like this also. Heat will flow like this as shown in the diagram. So this will be the point which is at lower temperature and this will be at higher temperature. So this is the absorbed heat and this will be the released heat. So if I take here the storage space, from that storage space heat will be absorbed and this heat will be released to the surrounding. Okay, so this is at lower temperature and this is at higher temperature. In this diagram, the n type of semiconductor is used. Let's see if p type of semiconductor is used. When a p type semiconductor that is doped with holes, that means number of holes are more. What is holes? That is a positive charge carriers is used. Instead the holes move in direction opposite to the direction of current. So here is the positive and this is negative. Current will flow like this. Current will flow like this. So in this case the carrier is positive charge. That means number of holes are flowing from this direction to this direction. Current will flow like this and holes will flow like this. So heat will flow in the direction of carrier flow. And what is the carrier in p type? That is hole. So hole will flow like this. And heat will flow like this. So essentially the heat is also transported in direction opposite to the current flow and in the direction of holes. Essentially the charge carriers dictate the direction of heat flow. That means if it is a positive charge is flowing in the direction opposite to the current flow, the direction of heat flow will be the charge flow in the direction of charge carrier flow. And if it is in the direction of electron flow, then heat will flow in the direction of electron flow. See here, in this case, I have taken one semiconductor. If I want to increase the capacity, what I will do? I'll take so many n type of conductors or so many p type of conductors. So electrically and thermally parallel multiple pellets I can take so that capacity can be increased. To increase the heat transported, several p type or n type thermoelectric component can be hooked up in parallel. This is the parallel arrangement. You can easily see that this is the n type and current will flow like this. And current will flow like this and it will go to the positive end of a battery. And then again the current will flow like this. So I already told that in the direction of carrier flow, charge carrier flow, heat will flow. So heat will flow like this. So this part will be at lower temperature. That means this will absorb the heat from the storage space. Suppose here is the storage space, and this part will take heat from the storage space, and from here heat will release to the surrounding. So it is working like an refrigeration system, na? And this system is taking heat from the storage space, and from here heat is rejecting to the surrounding. And here so many numbers of n-type semiconductors, so the capacity has been increased. Let's see another arrangement. In this arrangement, these are in series. These are in series, but electrically. And if I am talking about thermally, these are in parallel arrangement. You see here, the thermoelectric component can be put in series, but the heat transport ability are diminished because the interconnectings between the semiconductor creates thermal shortening. You see here, in this case, electrically it is in series. Current will flow like this. Current will flow like this. So electrically it is in series, but if I am talking about thermally it will flow because the current is flowing like this. So thermally the heat will release from this end to this end. That means this is at lower temperature and this will be at higher temperature. So heat will flow like this. As the heat will flow like this, that is in parallel arrangement, and there is an interconnection. This is the interconnection. Because of this interconnection, the thermal shortening will be there. The heat will flow like this, and between this there is thermal shortening. Because of that, efficiency of this system will reduce. Losses are there. That means less amount of heat will reject, or less amount of heat will flow from here to here. You can easily check like this. So this is the at lower temperature. So if I am taking the source or storage space here, these arrangement will take heat from the storage space and will reject the heat to the surrounding from this arrangement, from the upward side. This is the thermally parallel and electrically in series multiple pellets. Now, what is the advantage of electric cooling, thermoelectric cooling, and what are the limitations? Let's see one by one. Advantage of thermoelectric cooling, that is effective in spot cooling. Basically, thermoelectric cooling is used in servers. The data center where so many servers are there, at that locations thermoelectric cooling is also used. In electronics components, thermoelectric is used, and it is effective in spot cooling. Environmentally friendly because there is no chlorofluorocarbon. It has the ability to heat and cool both. You can easily see. Work in any orientation. It can work in any orientation. You just reverse this. The heat will flow like this. In any orientation it can work. Generate no electrical noise because there is no moving part, so there is no noise. Can power directly by PV cells. The main advantage of this, if I am using this solar radiation and I am storing that solar energy into PV cells, through PV cells I can use that power to run the thermoelectric refrigeration plant. It has a small size and lightweight and compact and reliable. Steady state operation. Why? Because there is no moving part and no fluids. That's why it has a steady state operation. It is durable and maintenance free. Very long operation life. Because it has no maintenance, so operation life is already more. And what are the limitations of thermoelectric cooling? Limitations are able to dissipate limited amount of heat flux. That means less amount of heat flux will take. That way it will absorb less amount of heat from the storage space and it will reject less amount of heat to the surrounding. While the vapor compression system has more capacity and it can work for higher heat flux. The thermoelectric cooling system has lower COP as compared to VC system. relegated to low heat flux application. That means for low heat flux application, this can be used. More total heat to remove than without a thermoelectric component. If I want to remove more heat from the storage space, then more thermoelectric components are used. That means there is a arrangement of thermoelectric component should be more, like in parallel arrangement or series arrangement. So friends, in this video we have seen the thermoelectric effects. In this video we have studied about the thermoelectric refrigeration. This is a non-conventional type thermoelectric refrigeration system. In the next video we will see one more type of non-conventional refrigeration system, that is the thermoacoustic refrigeration system. Thanks for watching this video and have a good day.